Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. This time we're doing something a little bit different. I'm sat here with Modsetti.
Hell yeah.
And we're taking a look at LoreRim. LoreRim is a large-scale, lore-accurate Wabberjack mod list for Skyrim that transforms the game in a number of ways, adding new gameplay features and roleplay elements, along with a comprehensive suite of visual changes. Featuring a vast list of around 4,000 mods in total, it would be impossible for us to go over every single mod, but I'm here with Modsetti for a quick look at LoreRim in action.
I think this game is looking absolutely incredible, and it just kind of looks like a fantasy game, but not over the top as well, which is what I really like about it.
Right.
It definitely looks really like modern day fantasy. Do you know what I mean? Like Kingdom Come Deliverance kind of style.
There's 4 different ENB options included: Dawnfire, Cabbage, Ammon, and Rudy. The Dawnfire one I found in particular gives the game almost like a Kingdom Come Deliverance kind of look, because it's quite washed out, but it looks very realistic.
And I like that you've still got the colours. It is washed out, but you've still got colours where it needs to be. Like, I'm a big fan of Tomatoes Landscapes. First of all, amazing name. Second of all, this is full complex parallax, which means that it basically looks 3D without being 3D.
Right.
So, for example, the floor in Whiterun, you know how it looks really crisp, really 3D? That is Tomatoes Landscapes. And it doesn't just do the paths, it does nature textures like rocks. I saw a picture of some amazing looking pebbles. So I think that's a really sick mod.
That is cool. That's a nice touch.
And another one that I'm a fan of is Rin's locations. It overhauls different locations. So we've got like Azura's Shrine, the Standing Stones, and like the Riverwood Trader, different like places like that. But they're individual kind of overhauls to those places and adds a lot of like storytelling to them as well. So like the Standing Stones, they look so much more like mystical and like there's actual history to them as well.
It's not just the visual changes in terms of the way things have been upgraded. Whole cities have been made bigger, geography has been changed, the architecture has been changed. All the holds look different now, much more like diverse than they are in the vanilla game.
I feel like I know Skyrim pretty well, but I feel like this Skyrim is just massive. Like, I feel way out of my depth, which is good. Like, I feel like it's a whole new place.
Yeah,
you know?
you get to explore it just like you did back in 2011, but all over again.
Yeah, which is what we all want, really.
Right, like finding some of the nooks and crannies in Whiterun and having more to see is such a new feeling in this game after it's been around for such a long time. We went to visit the Blue Palace in Solitude.
Big fan. It's called the Blue Palace.
It is called the Blue Palace. Yeah, we went to go and visit the Blue Palace in Solitude, and that looks just completely different.
It just feels so much grander. Do you know what I mean? Like that courtyard when you first get in. The Blue Palace in vanilla Skyrim, I'm pretty sure you just walk in, waltz on in. There's nothing like there's no grandeur, but this is like incredible. You can tell that Jarl Elsif has money.
Well, it's like a lot of the stone cities in Skyrim to me always felt quite cold, but they just don't anymore. There's so much more flora. There's so much more ornate,
and also things don't have that much personality in vanilla Skyrim because it's just reused assets. But the Blue Palace, I bet you won't see anything like that anywhere else.
No.
It's really cool.
And we're just nitpicking a few different locations specifically, but the whole world is like this. And there's new points of interest that you can find on the way. We've got Lux Sphere, which I've talked about before, Lux Orbis, just adding points of interest, junctions, waymarkers, upgrading bridges, just loads of cool stuff.
And talking of new stuff as well, it's also got a mod called Beyond Skyrim Bruma, which is from Oblivion, but it adds this into Skyrim. This quest is massive and incredible and really popular as well. It's got over 24,000 lines of incredible voice acting and 3 hours of original music. I don't know anything off the top of my head about the whole plot of it, but people love it. So yeah, you've got definitely loads of opportunities to try all sorts of new things. There's also a mod called Project AHO, which I read drops you into an underground Dunmer city where you're forced to work your way up in a strange steampunk society.
Oh my god.
Which is so random, but I love it. Like, I don't know, it's just very, very cool new bits and bobs.
Well, it'll be impossible for us to talk about all the story additions and not talk about the Requiem mod that's in here.
Yes.
So Requiem adds a whole load of new role-playing features to the game. So you'll get hungry, you'll get thirsty, you'll get tired. It completely rebalances a lot of the enemies that you'll face in the game. Enemy leveling is turned off. So you could come up against someone who in the vanilla game you'd find pretty easy to beat. But now you're really struggling, and you'll have to, again, I liken it to Kingdom Come Deliverance. If you like that, you'll like this experience, because it's that feeling of getting better through being able to accomplish things that you couldn't accomplish early on in the game.
I really like that it doesn't just make the game harder. I read from the mod page, it says, new adventurers lack the skill and equipment to tackle the dangers of Skyrim, so during the early levels, a lack of healthy fear and preparation will quickly result in death.
Right.
Which makes sense.
But the payoff at the end of that is that once you have become really good, you're really powerful.
Good.
Right. So you get to experience genuinely getting better and stronger, and all in this sort of beautiful new world, which is familiar but different and offers a completely different way to play the game.
I think this segues as well into the combat, which looks awesome. We've got Attack, a modern combat overhaul, which gives you chainable power attacks and animated transitions, which just makes your combat look much cooler. But it's kind of a group effort. There's a mod called Maxu's Poise and Stances, which is a poise mod that intends to introduce a stagger trigger mechanic, very similar to kind of Dark Souls type thing.
Well, the one that I'm really excited about being in there is Book of Shadows, which is one for the stealth archer builds out there. Adds fully animated masks, smoke bombs, sneak takedowns, all sorts of cool stuff.
And even if you want to play as a vampire, there's a mod called Sacrosanct, which lets you play as a fully fledged vampire with evolving powers and a proper faction, just upscaling all of the vampire stuff, which I find in the vanilla game quite frustrating.
Yeah, I find the vampire stuff a little bit strange. The whole implementation of it felt a bit half-assed.
Yeah, totally agree.
Just in terms of the weapons that you've got available, though, there's whole new weapon types. So we've got spears, javelins, pikes, halberds, katanas, short swords.
So you can really build your character however you want.
You can. And like The Witcher, you can now get oils for your weapons as well that'll enchant your weapons. And
nice, I like that.
I mean, imagine Witcher meets Kingdom Come meets Skyrim, and that's kind of what you're looking at, really.
And that's the dream.
And it's important to point out, by the way, that if the role-playing aspects are too much for you, if the idea of you're getting hungry or you're getting tired just kind of drives you nuts, you can play with all that turned off and keep all the visual overhauls in the next generation visual overhaul mod. Sometimes
you're just not in the mood for all that.
Yeah, or you just want to play Skyrim but have it look like it's from 2025 instead of 2011.
I've got a fun mod to mention. It's called Keep It Clean, which is in this mod list, and it tracks how dirty you get, and NPCs will actually react to you if you don't bathe.
That is cool.
Absolutely savage, but, makes it realistic.
I was going to mention about the NPCs as well, because obviously their appearances has seen a big change in this mod list. But I don't think you get a lot of mod lists where all the NPCs look really like supermodels. They look really amazing. And that's cool if that's something you're looking for. This goes for a bit more of a realistic spread. So there's a wide variety. Some of them look amazing and some of them look dirty and grubby.
They look like real characters.
Probably does,
Yeah, no, I think that's really, really nice to actually give them more personality as well,
Right. It's not just all the new quests that we talked about. There are expansions for the existing quest lines. The Companions, Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood have all been expanded. There's a whole load more dialogue lines for NPCs, so that's all been added in.
I like that because some NPCs just say the same thing over and over again. You get kind of sick of it eventually.
Well, it all becomes memes, right? I think at least 50% of the Skyrim script now has been memed to death.
Yeah, pretty much.
But there's new music as well.
Oh, nice. But it keeps the old music as well.
Old music. So
it's a nice combination of nostalgia and newness.
Yeah, sometimes you'll find yourself walking around and think, I don't think I've heard this piece of music before.
It's cool when you go into like a new place and you're like, whoa, what's happening? I don't recognize this music. Is this combat or is this magic?
Right. And in a way, you appreciate the old stuff just as much or even more because it pops up every now and then and it doesn't stick around long enough to get kind of boring.
Yeah,
there's a good variety in there. In terms of performance, obviously we were playing on a really powerful PC or a fairly powerful PC. There are different versions. So there's an ultra graphics version and a more sort of dialed back version. You're probably going to need at least sort of an RTX 20 series card or something to run this visually, but that's not too bad. And a lot of work has gone into optimizing the performance on this one. And generally you'll find that while the map has a lot in it, it's not over cluttered. There's not just stuff everywhere for no reason.
It's not overwhelming.
Yeah, which obviously helps with your performance. So hopefully more people can get this and get it running.
I love that.
So that was your little look at LoreRim. What do you think? Are you going to download it at home?
Do you know what? I absolutely would. I'm really glad to know that there is that other mod list that is less intensive on your computer, because I don't have a amazing computer at home, but I'm really glad that we were able to show these off. And also, if you fancy some of the mods that you see in this LoreRim list, you could just go through the mod list and, pick some out.
Yeah, they're all on nexusmods.com.
Exactly. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you in the next one.
See ya. Bye-bye.